welcome back to another Simply Dark episode. In today's video, we are going to talk about the paranormal. As you guys may know, I am a very big chicken when it comes to the paranormal. I'm super scared of everything, although I do love to talk about it, which doesn't make any sense really. But I came to the conclusion that this would be something fun and that a lot of you would like me to talk about. So this episode is going to be a two-part episode. So the first video is going to be about the origins of the Ouija board, and the second video is going to be my personal story with the Ouija board. Yes, you heard right, I did try it for myself a long time ago when I was a teenager and I had half a brain. Hopefully you will find my personal story very scary and will never ever touch a Ouija board in your life. Now, for those of you that don't know or that are living under a rock, the Ouija board is a board game that has a bunch of letters and numbers, and you basically use it to talk with spirits, people that passed away. It's like a form of communication between our world and the spiritual world. Like I said before, I tried it myself with a couple of my friends. So what happened is you are all around the table where the Ouija board is, and then you have a little wooden piece that will move when you make questions to the board. So basically you sit down, normally in a dark place, if possible with some candles, and the first thing you basically do is introduce yourself to the Ouija board, and after introducing yourself is when you can start making your questions. Now, before you ask a question, you should have your finger on top of the little wooden piece. You shouldn't be touching it, you should just have it on top of it. And basically, when you ask a question, the little wooden piece will move, selecting the letters that you can then read to understand the answer. Now, just the feeling of you seeing that little piece of wood moving on its own, it's so scary that I can't even explain to you guys. Once you have asked all your questions and received all your answers, you need to ask the spirit if you can leave the game or not. If he says yes, then you just need to say bye to the spirit and go your way. If he says no, you cannot leave the game until it says that you can leave. Now, this is the very scary part. If you leave the game without permission to do so, weird things will start to happen to you. Some people also kind of forget to say bye to the spirit, or even don't know that they have to ask permission to leave. These people will also be in a very scary situation. If you look online, if you search for people that play the game, and if you search for their stories, you will find the most horrific, scary stories out there. And that's why I'm saying, please don't try this game ever in your life, because it might seem fun, but once you're in there, it's not at all. And I also know that a lot of you don't actually believe in these kind of things, but just to be safe, don't be stupid and do it. Okay, now that I explained in summary what is the Ouija board, I can now start telling you guys how did all this started. After the US Civil War in the 19th century, people started to feel a big urge to talk to their loved ones that died in the war. Obviously, a lot of people die, leaving behind, wives and kids and, mothers and fathers. So obviously, these people that lost loved ones were craving to having a last moment with their loved ones, which I completely understand, because when you do not have the time to say goodbye to someone you love, it can affect you greatly, and you do think, what if I could talk to this person one more time? In 1848, the Fox sisters were able to talk to the spirit of one of their family members, and once word got out, a lot of people were interested in knowing how was this possible. How could two sisters in 1848 be able to talk to someone that was dead? Now, before the Ouija board was invented, what the mediums at that time used to do was sit people around the table with all their hands on top of the table, and then the spirit would go into the medium body and talk through the medium. And this is when the idea of having a board to communicate to the dead started to take form. Obviously, you don't play the Ouija board alone. Normally, you have a group of friends that sit around the Ouija board, and the difference here is that you don't actually need the help of a medium. You can do it yourself. Now, it is said that one of these very well-known mediums at the time had the idea of creating a board with all the letters of the alphabet and also the numbers from 0 till 9. So as you can see, the Ouija board has been with us for a really long time. And the way you play it and the main reason why you use it is still the same after all this time. Now, the old Ouija boards were a little bit different from the ones we have today, because the earliest versions only had the alphabet and the numbers. Nowadays, you can find that a Ouija board also have words like yes or no, and some of them even have the words hello and goodbye. So for example, if you want to ask something like, are you an evil spirit? The spirit can answer yes or no, and this goes for a lot other questions that you may ask. The name Ouija was also object of controversy, mainly because people did not understand why would it be called that name. And I'm pretty sure that still to this day, a lot of people don't know why the board is called Ouija. I didn't know myself, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you at home don't know either. So let me explain to you, why does this board is called Ouija? Basically, the medium that created this board was told by a spirit to call it that name. She was using the board, talking to a spirit, and she asked him, what did he think it should be a good name for the board? And Ouija was the name the spirit gave to her, which basically in their language, Ouija means good luck. Now, for those of you that are watching and don't believe in anything of this, we do have a scientific explanation for what happens and what moves the little wooden piece. So what I'm gonna do is I will leave down below a link for the scientific explanation for this. So if you guys are interested, just go down below and read the link. I'm not very good at explaining scientific stuff, but I will make sure I leave you correct information in the bar down below. And also, this scientific theory was not made because of the Ouija board. It was not made to explain the Ouija board. This scientific explanation was already a thing before the Ouija board, so that just tells us that it wasn't made up. It's actually something proven scientifically. Now, this is it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If yes, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. Also, please don't forget that I'm gonna have part 2 of this video coming very soon, where I talk about my experience with the Ouija board, so you guys can have a little idea of how scary this game is. Now I'm gonna go because I already talked too much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.